Good morning. It's about 9:30 a.m. on Sunday, West Coast time. I think it's January 11th, something like that. My brother texted me this morning about a video that he saw on TikTok, um, saying that white people need to, currently, in our current circumstances, need to adopt the tactics of the Black Panther Party in the late 60s. And that really got me thinking. I mean, the overall concept was that large numbers of Black Panther Party members would protest in large numbers, and from what I understand, because education and knowledge were core tenets of the Black Panther Party movement, they educated themselves quite thoroughly on California's open carry gun laws at the time, which permitted them to openly carry guns, shotguns, rifles, handguns, and they would show up and protest, and they would all be openly armed. Now, I have several thoughts on this. One, I think that concept at face value is a very valuable concept for people who look like me to learn more about. I think it is also probably extremely accurate. I know it's true in my case that in K through 12, through undergrad, through law school, I was taught literally not one thing about the Black Panther Party in California or throughout the United States in the late 60s. And I want to be very, very mindful of, I've duetted several videos from black people on TikTok, primarily black women, over the last several days about white people co-opting the hashtag or the chant, "Say Her Name," relative to the killing of Renee Good a few days ago. Renee Good was a white woman. The "Say Her Name" hashtag and chant was created by black people to highlight the fact that so many black women were being killed by police and were not getting almost any press coverage at all when that happens. So very, very much the last thing that I want to do is come on this app as a dumb white guy from rural Ohio who has not been educated on these things at all, and say we should co-opt for white people this extremely important period of time in the history of black Americans and black Americans standing up to oppression in this country, that we should just co-opt all of that for white people in January of 2026. But, so I need to learn a lot more about the Black Panthers, what they were actually trying to do. And you can find videos on this from black creators on this app, just by searching, go to the search bar and search Black Panthers history, things like that. And you can see speeches and interviews with Black Panther Party leaders, and learn. That's one of the best things about this app. That is one of the best things about TikTok, one of the best things about YouTube. You can find anything that you want to learn about, and learning is crucial. But I think the overriding concept, and this feeds in directly to the video that I made yesterday morning. It's like videos that I've made over the last several days. It's like white people are the ones who created this situation with Donald Trump's second term, and with ICE and with what ICE is doing, and it's going to be up to white people to fix it. And along those lines, it's like, we as white people exist in this country that was created largely for our comfort and our protection, certainly with levels of comfort and protection that are not built in to the systemic structure of this country from top to bottom. Those levels of comfort and protection are not built in for people who don't look like me. And over the last several years, we're seeing this government and this Supreme Court in fairly dramatic moves start removing that comfort and protection for white women, certainly with the Dobbs decision and abortion bans across red states. And, but this country has a Second Amendment, and it has gun culture, and it has things like the NRA and the pro-gun Second Amendment crowd that for decades have protected the gun rights of white people, and specifically the gun rights of white men. And one of the things that I did know about not so much the Black Panther Party themselves, but white reaction to the Black Party, is that in the late 60s, when the Black Panther Party was taking advantage of California's gun laws and showing up to protests heavily armed, openly displaying shotguns, rifles, and handguns, the governor of California at the time was Ronald Reagan. And during the only such occurrence in their history, the National Rifle Association worked with Ronald Reagan and the California State Legislature to pass a bill that I believe was called the Mulford Act, which banned open carry. And they did that, the white governor, the white state legislature, the white National Rifle Association did that to disarm black people in public, to prevent them from openly carrying firearms. And which, I mean, it's like, on the one hand, there are so many layers to that, and on the other hand, there are no layers at all. It was just disarm black people who had the temerity to protest against their own oppression and use laws created to benefit white men in order to do that. But just on a very surface concept level, think about all the protests that we've seen over the years. In the state of Virginia, a few years ago, they were going to pass a bunch of gun control legislation at the state level, and the Virginia State House was surrounded by white guys openly carrying AR-15s, shotguns, rifles, guns, and scared the ever-loving shit out of those state legislators. And things like that have happened in Michigan and Pennsylvania, all throughout the upper Midwest and the South, where you have states that have very, very lax gun laws. Think if there were 100 white people with AR-15s on scene when that ICE agent was getting ready to murder Renee Good last week. We're going to have to start doing things that are going to place ourselves at risk and that are going to make us extremely uncomfortable, which we're not used to because state violence has never been consistently applied against white people in the United States. as it's been applied against black people in this country for 400 years.